Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be attempting to color my hair that bright ginger with a combination of permanent dye and our classic friend Overtone. So obviously I've already done a video trying out the Overtone Ginger color. But what I didn't show you guys is that after I did that, I still obviously had very dark roots. It did not work on my roots. So what I went ahead and did was I actually used a permanent dye on my roots and then mixed in a little bit of the ginger color for like the rest of my hair that's already much more lightened through, other permanent hair products. So like the hair that's down here on the bottom part of my, head is much lighter than, obviously you can see how bad my dark roots are looking right now. It's so bad. So since my hair has quite grown out again, we really are overdue. I've decided that I'll show you guys exactly how I was able to kind of mix the two in order to get the results that I desired without having to use permanent hair color on my entire head of hair. So this is going to be interesting because the color that I used to color my roots was one that I found in a box underneath my bed that I guess I had bought years ago and still held on to. And that color doesn't exist anymore. You can't buy it. So I successfully used that in order to do my roots and mixed it, with the Overtone. And that turned out great. Looked awesome. I don't have that exact color because it is gone. Why? Well, bring it back. Bring it back. Apparently everyone's very upset about it online too, but it doesn't exist anymore. So we're just gonna have to go with the next best thing. So the thing that I have here, and hopefully will work, it's called High Color Reds for dark hair only. So this was something that I bought at Sally Beauty. This color is technically copper red, so I don't believe I ever actually used this one. I think I used a darker red to get more of an Ariel kind of darker red hue at one point in time. I was always trying different hair colors out, honestly. And then I think that might be a problem is the only developer I actually have is a 20 level. So usually you need to use a 30 to really lighten, but we're just gonna go for it. I wish this were more helpful, but it's very hard to get your hands on certain things this time. Sally Beauty is not open anywhere near me. So this is the color that I had. It's High Color Reds for dark hair only, permanent hair color, multi-lift in one step, it claims. So let's hope that's true. So this is the color I'm gonna use on my roots. And then the color that I will be using for the rest of my hair is our good old friend, Overtone Ginger. They were actually doing a sale where you basically got this plus the everyday shampoo, which I do not use every day, but I have used to refresh the color and has worked really well. So it was a really good deal. And that's why I have both products. But last time it took us this entire tub to cover my hair, so I have a feeling that it's gonna take this again. So basically the steps are as follows. Cover my roots really good with the permanent hair color, then go into the rest of the hair and cover it with the ginger and kind of mix it in. There's no salons. What else can I do? I can only do this. So I hope this is helpful for you guys, and I hope that it turns out the way that it should turn out based off last time's results. So let's get to it. Okay, so here we are in the good old bathroom, and the first thing that we're gonna do is add the developer. So again, normally I would use 30. I only have 20 on hand. Hopefully it'll be okay. So basically you're trying to do the exact same amount of the color as you do the developer. So I'm gonna pour in 2 fluid ounces of this because I have about 2 fluid ounces in the developer here. So I have this little thing that I got at Sally Beauty. It was super cheap. I think it was literally $3 or something. And I'm just filling this up to a little 2. So I know I'm at 2 fluid ounces. Perfect. And now I'm going to add in the color here. And I gotta pierce it with something. I'm gonna pierce it with, let's see. I'm gonna hold this so it doesn't go anywhere. have the world's worst gloves on again. And then with this color specifically, there's this like copper intensifier that I also have to add. But I didn't have to do this with the other hair color that I had used in the past. And then I'm going to take this end of my little brush that I also got at Sally Beauty and just mix her up. Holy tamale, this is red. Okay, and let's start on those roots. So basically, I'm just gonna part my hair as much down the middle as I can. Unfortunately, my best comb for this kind of thing, I actually had to throw away after the last time I dyed my hair because it was so saturated with dye. Just this so I can see just how bad the roots are, and I'll be able to slowly coat everything. Now I'm gonna put my hair into 4 different sections. Ha! Perfect. So now I'm going to start with one section, and basically what I'm going to do is try to get every single one of these root hairs colored. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so the way in which to do this to make sure you're actually coating everything is you need to take these small sections and make sure that you're covering both sides of the root here. So you see, I'm picking it up, I'm doing the part that's like normally facing me, and then I'm also going underneath and coloring that hair too. So this is a technique that I recently learned and has honestly helped me out so much, because before I was just doing kind of whatever because I'm lazy and I don't know. Don't do what I used to do. Do it like this. This is really a great technique that helps you make sure that you're getting the color on the entirety of your roots, because it can be hard to make sure that you're getting all of it, and oftentimes you can definitely miss like big chunks if you're not careful. And then I'm just really making sure that it's like super duper in there by scrunching it a little bit, rubbing it in to kind of activate the color too. And normally I also take a little hairbrush, usually a comb or something, to make sure the color is going all the way through. You'll see me do that a little bit later, so I'm kind of trying to merge from the root color into the overall color as well. But basically I'm just going to continue to do this all around my head, even in the back. So I'm starting with the sections closest to my face up here, but then I'm going to go ahead and shift to those back portions and make sure I get that hair as well, trying to get rid of any sort of that dark color. I'm also starting with my roots because they're going to need more time to color than the rest of my hair, and the overtone color works pretty quickly anyways, so this color needs like 30 minutes to develop, and by the time I finish putting the overtone color on my hair, after I've already put this color on my hair as well, we're going to be at the exact place we need to be, so it's just going to work out better that way. So I'll just go ahead and skip forward, but you guys kind of get the idea of what I'm doing over the entirety of my head here. Okay, so that's step 1. I've got the permanent dye on all of my roots. Now I'm going to start adding in the ginger overtone color. Got my overtone right here, looking nice and thick. So basically just taking sections of hair now and rubbing it in. It is that thick kind of conditioning treatment, which smells so good, and you can really feel the difference between this and like the actual hair dye. Ow! Oh, my elbow. Yeah, that still hurts today. But basically, I'm just going to do each individual section, going up and down. I'm going to take the comb through as well, just to make sure I'm actually getting every piece of hair here. I'm going to be a lot less, what's the word? thoughtful, I guess, in where I'm placing the dye, because I was much more concerned about the roots. Here I'm just trying to like kind of refresh the color that I currently have, just to give it a little extra zest, you know? So here I'm just going to try and blend from the point on my head where I have that permanent color into the ginger coloring conditioner. So basically, I'm just trying to make it not look like there's this sharp line, you know, in my hair, but kind of let the permanent hair color come down through the hair as well. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for 15 minutes and then we'll shower and hopefully this works, please. All right, it's been 15 minutes, so I'm gonna rinse this off and pray this works. Okay, we are rinsed. And I'm just gonna blow dry it real quick so we can actually see what the color looks like. I'm very excited. And here we are. So, did what I feared was gonna happen? Yes, because the top color really is just, it's a little bit too red to match the ginger exactly. So now it kind of looks more like this red ombre situation happening, which I'm not really mad about, but I wish I had filmed the time that I actually used the correct color hair dye on top of my roots, and it literally looked perfect. Like you could not tell that there was a change in the color. So I just think as long as you get the right color, it's gonna be perfect. So, I mean, you can, if you're into this is definitely more of like an Ariel red on the top. It's a little bit of a darker red. It's not as much of that ginger. Obviously, it's gonna lighten though too, like as time goes on. My hair just naturally lightens in the sun whenever I dye it this color. So I'll definitely be doing a lot of like ginger touch-ups, I think. With like the everyday conditioner. You definitely feel the difference between the permanent dye and then the overtone. Like overtone is so nice for your hair. Like it's conditioning, it smells good, it's thick, and it is a huge mess. But I definitely like still think that it's worth it to just do your roots with the permanent dye and to dye the rest of your hair with something that's just a little bit softer, better for your hair, like overtone. So in that way, I feel like this was very successful. Obviously, my roots are gone. They're not the exact color I was going for, but what more could I ask for in quarantine? This could have been a lot worse. This is also why I will not bleach my hair, because we all know that's gonna end up very badly. So I'm gonna add some recommendations for hair colors that I think would actually be a little bit better than the one that I used. But the copper is just, it's not quite the lightness of the ginger. Like, it works, but is it perfect? No. I wish Wella still made their light ginger, because that was literally the perfect color. I loved it. It was perfect. And then I found out that it does not exist anymore. So I don't know if we should all petition them, or yeah, I don't know. How do I start a petition for Wella to bring this color back? Please bring it back. Please. Well, I hope that was helpful for somebody. I don't know if it was even helpful. But now you know my methods, even when they do not work out exactly the way that I hoped. That's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. But until then, stay sparkly. Bye-bye.